It finally was a weekend to be proud of, Orange fans and Bills fans. For the first time in about a year, we finally win both of our games. But the thing is, I have to always wonder about the Orange. Do they seem to be an enigma or something when they play those FCS teams? That's the way it was against Stony Brook for one half. And I started to think that the Orange were going to poop this game away. The way we gave up that touchdown on that long pass and then gave up that long run for a touchdown. Plus also, even though we got 2 touchdowns ourselves, we pooped away 2 field goals. I mean, that Krautman, he looked like a sauerkraut man on that, missing both those field goals. That had me scratching my head quite a bit. I mean, I'm like, are we destined to lose to Stony Brook? Of course, Stony Brook is one of the best FCS teams in the country, even if they did pile 77 points on a Division II school. And in the second half, the Orange had 2 more chances to put points on the board, driving down almost to well within the red zone, and then giving up the ball on downs. The final score was 28-17, but it could have easily been 48-17, because after that long touchdown pass Stony Brook had, they did nothing as far as passing the ball. But I mean, look at what happened there with Ashton Broyld. Welcome to the hill, Ashton Broyld. Boy, he's starting to come into his own. It looks as though running back, he adds another dimension on. Smith and Gully. Gully is kind of both speed and straight ahead. Smith is straight ahead. But Broyld is speed, and he really showed that. Broyld took the ball and he grilled and fried the Stony Brook defense on his way to the end zone on that touchdown run. A well-deserved 28-17 win. A win almost a year in the making. Now we're 1-2, and maybe, as ESPN likes to say, one of the best 1-2 teams in the country. But guess who we got coming up this Saturday, folks? Another one of our tough non-conference games before we start Big East play. We head out there to the new stadium there for the Golden Gophers to play Minnesota. Minnesota has won 2 of the 3 games they played against us, and Minnesota has won their first 3 games this year. This could be another one of those ones where you pray for something to happen, but the thing is, the way Syracuse's offense has been, the way Ryan Nassib has been, and the way Ashton Broyld is starting to look, maybe it won't be so bad. Let's hope we don't have to wait another year for another victory. And speaking of victories, boy, how did Buffalo bounce back from that debacle against the New York Jets? Their home opener was against those Chiefs from Kansas City, who in week 1 last year we thumped 41-7. And you know what? Everything was cooking for the Bills. C.J. Spiller, we've been waiting for you to bounce out of your shell for a long time. It's too bad Freddie Jackson is injured, but Spiller, once you get the ball and break into the next dimension, there's no stopping you, man. Boy, you turn on the afterburners and you're gone. Boom, to the end zone. And also, Scott Chandler with a pretty touchdown grab. Steve Johnson with a touchdown grab. And thank God, no touchdown celebration. And also, Leotis McKelvin, who everybody thinks is a liability, because that's what you say if you got something you owe. Liability. But the thing is, he owed Buffalo a good play, and boy, did he deliver on that punt return for a touchdown. And even though he gave up 2 touchdowns in garbage time, it still was a well-deserved 35-17 throttling of those Chiefs. Now we're 1-1, and hopefully getting ready to show the promise that we've delivered in all the preseason analysis. Coming up next week, or I should say this Sunday, we head to our old buddies on Lake Erie. That's right, the Cleveland Browns. the thing is, they got two interesting rookies themselves. 29-year-old rookie quarterback Brandon Whedon out of Oklahoma State, and Trent Richardson, the dynamic rookie running back out of Alabama. Boy, did I almost say Auburn there. Boy, I wanted to roll Tide but cry War Eagle on that one. Let's go to 2-1 Bills. We're finally hoping to show everybody what the Bills are made of, and Buffalo could finally push for a playoff spot, which is 12 years in the making. 13 years, I should say. And on a quick note, last week I talked about Miners being 2-0. Boy, did they fall to earth against Clyde Savannah. 61-13 they fell to earth. Clyde Savannah has always been good, but I didn't think they'd be all that awesome this time. Mike got turned into a grist millis, and Brandon almost couldn't pass Alacqua, but they sure gave a good effort. But I mean, it's only a quick hit. Now on to my next topic. How about the whole thing with Tom Coughlin and Greg Schiano? That whole thing at the end of the Giants-Buccaneers game, when Eli Manning went to take a knee and he got run over by the Mack truck that was the middle of the Buccaneers defense. And in the traditional handshake there for the coaches, what happened there? Of course I know what happened. Schiano said in his post-game conference, he said, "That's the way we did at Rutgers, even on that victory play." Well, you know, Schiano, this is the NFL, not the NCAA, not Rutgers. You don't do that. And of course, one other thing. You know what you did, you Italian from New Jersey? You ticked off an Irishman from Central New York. And you know what you do when you tick off Irishmen from Central New York? Oh boy, get ready. This Irishman stands behind you, even though you're from Waterloo, Coughlin. Little Seneca Falls Waterloo thing right there. But you know, the thing is, the Irishmen from Central New York are good ones, and the Italians from Central New York are good people. Italians from New Jersey are just like what's going to happen with Sorrentino or you, Schiano. You're going to get yourself in a pretty rough situation one of these times. Topic number 4 for me is about Billy Gillispie, the coach there for Texas Tech. Thing is, a few weeks ago there were stories about a full-blown insurrection by the players. The thing is, Gillespie is supposedly one of those coaches with strange and almost life-changing habits. Supposedly he has nothing in his fridge. He works till 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning. Thing is, he's an old-school coach. But I mean, players are crying that, he abuses us verbally and that he makes injured players practice until they cry, yada, yada, yada. Note to the Texas Tech players, you went through both Bobby Knight and Pat Knight before Gillespie came, so what are you complaining about? I mean, you gotta get your game face on like Bobby Knight would be. I don't know what to say about that, but Gillespie has been ordered not to do anything strenuous for 30 days to lower his blood pressure, because he was hospitalized for about a week recently because of it. Well, you know, let's hope Gillespie doesn't turn into Colonel Potter. Everybody wants to be nice to him and that, how about a warm glass of milk? I'm just waiting for him to go, I can't stand it any longer. The next person who tries to be nice to me is going to die with their basketball sneakers on. Mine! Boy, that felt good. And while we're on the thing of coaches, my hat's off to Jim Calhoun. Have a good retirement, Calhoun. I mean, you were a coach against Boeheim for a long time, and Connecticut and Syracuse is one of the best rivalries on the hard court. Sadly, it looks as though it's going to come to an end, with Syracuse going to the ACC. But whatever. Calhoun, have a happy retirement. And last but not least this week, let's talk about that tragedy that happened over in Libya. You know what? What those people did to the ambassador there and a couple of his cohorts with that brazen attack is tantamount to an act of war. Thing is, our consulate or an embassy is sovereign territory of that nation. And what those radicals did was attack sovereign United States territory. We've got a couple destroyers already parked in the Gulf of Sidra. And you know what's going to happen once we find out where your headquarters are. Because you see, a lot of the regular Libyans tried to help our ambassador and the two others. But I mean, when we find out where you are, guess what? You better say your prayers. We're going to blow you right out of existence. Nobody screws with the United States of America. My condolences to the families, especially to the ambassador. And that's how I end this week here for Kenny's Two Pennies. Till next week, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.